All right, what's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Remora. We come to you every week and talk all things crypto to keep you guys up to date, informed, entertained, and more importantly, ahead of the markets. That's what we're here for. That's what we're going to do. My name is Wes, and I am joined with, as always, Siri Crypto. What's up, Siri?
What's up, man? Chilling.
Good. Doing good, brother. Today, we are joined, as you can see, that handsome mug on the face. An absolute stud, one of the biggest chads in this space, and a true friend of the channel, a supporter since day one. We appreciate you for being here. Shred, what is up, my friend? How are you, sir?
What's good? I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to chat shit with the boys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. We're excited to have you. The pleasure is all ours, man. We're really going to focus on NFTs, blockchain gaming. We're wanting to get your kind of opinion on the markets as a whole today, and just kind of do some price predictions, man, and talk about some gaming, talk about anything that comes up. There's some headlines that we want to go over, get your opinions on, man. So yeah, super excited. Let's have some fun. Let's get to it. Siri, what's going on, brother?
Man, I'm hyped. I've been waiting for this. Shred was like, "Come on, man. When am I coming on?" Like, Shred, we've been waiting on you, baby.
Ask.
We've been waiting on you.
Gotta ask.
You don't gotta ask. Come on, Lambo and Shred. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, you guys don't have to ask. Like, come on.
Sure,
all right, so
sure.
I gotta ask you right now. Did you do your daily trade for Hashverse? I know you already did your daily battle trade for Hashverse, right?
You already know what time it is.
You are. I'm not doing mine yet, but
Yeah, I actually don't think I've done mine today. Like this morning, I did did last night across my one account.
Dude,
nice.
Wink, wink. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Not my 60. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't have that many. But yeah, no, I definitely did my trade. Gas is expensive,
So
though, bro.
expensive.
Like I'm doing my realm, like I'm doing my my realm battles, and even that shit on a Beatram's, $3, $4, $5, and I'm like, oh, like damn,
dude, on
and that's
Arbitrums?
cheap. Like that's cheap.
wow.
Yeah,
bro.
man, because I was like 80, 90 battles, like
Yeah.
it just adds up real quick, and then like I'm complaining in my head, I'm complaining about $3, and then I'm going over to do my Hashverse battles, and it's like, yeah, that'll just be like $8 to trade $20.
Bro, I jumped on there because I went to go do my trade on my main account. That's the main one that I kind of focus on, but it was up to like $18, dude, for one trade. And
Yeah.
but I do know that they're about to implement Arbitrum, where you can actually use Arbitrum to L2 to do those trades. So looking forward to that. I don't know when that's gonna
That would be
happen,
dope.
man, but I'm looking forward to it, man. Everybody was so ready for the bull to come back. We're back, but I think this is a good point, though, man. Like, L2s is where it's at, dude. Arbitrum is so easy, and that's kind of like where we met you, Shred, was within that Arbitrum community, man, with the Lost Donkeys, and I think Arbitrum, man, it's time to come back, dude. People are gonna start being curious when they see those gas prices to use L1. Like, they're going to look for an alternative. I think Arbitrum is well positioned, man, to really take the stage on that, dude, for sure. But
Yeah, man. I think it's. I was just gonna say, like, I joined a Beatram in 2021 when Smalls minted. I was like OG. I drew my monkey, got my Smalls, and I've just never ever since then. Like, and even back then when it was it was hard to get to an L2. It was literally just go to bridge.arbitrum, whatever it was, .com or whatever. Yeah. I sent my ETH, and then that was it. I didn't have to do anything. For context, maybe like 3 weeks before that, 4 weeks before that, I remember I was sitting in an airport, my flight had been delayed like 3 or 4 times, and the whole time, like the whole 5 hours, I was trying to figure out how the fuck to get my Ethereum onto Polygon or Matic at the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was shit then, and it's still shit now. So
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah.
but when you use ARB, and I mean, you know, obviously other L2s are solid too, but I've just never understood how anyone can fade the L2s. Like it's
What's your second? Dude?
It's crazy.
What's your second L2? Because I feel like Optimism's probably like the closest one to ARB. Is that true? Like, have you used any other ones?
Yeah, I actually I was pretty big. So I was Polygon at the start. Well, sorry, Matic again, because that was when it was just like when that there was a big DeFi boom, and I was just buying all these shitty DeFi platforms on Polygon.
Right.
But I really, you know, if anyone that knows me, they know I'm not a big fan of Polygon.
Right.
No.
But then after that, I went to AVAX, and I've actually always quite liked AVAX.
Avalanche, yeah.
Avalanche. I think it's pretty confusing. Like they have all these different, you know, they got the C chain,
Yeah.
X
it's
chain,
like-
Y chain. I'm doing geometry, man, or algebra. Like I
makes no
can't
sense,
figure
yeah.
Avalanche out. I can't figure it out.
Well,
I tried, dude.
especially when everything's on C chain. So it's like, why have you got these other two, like, you know, dev chains or whatever they are?
Right.
Like,
I'm like, what the heck?
but yeah, AVAX, like for me, AVAX was what I used before ARB, and then I went to ARB and I was like, oh damn, like this is just like AVAX.
Yeah.
But obviously now I probably look at it the other way around. But yeah, otherwise I don't think this is an L2, but I actually am a bit of a fan of Solana. Like that's where I made my first bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I
We like
minted
Solana too.
my 3D gods. I don't know how. I was one of the few. Like the mint was really hyped. It was expensive at the time. It was 3 Solana each, which back then was like $130, I think.
Wes
and
knows
remember
that pain.
I was one of the few people that somehow I was out with my missus. We were walking the dog, and the D gods were minting. I think there's been a few fucking mints. I just can't remember. They all blur together. But I remember I was one of the few to somehow mint all 3 because you got allocated up to 3 D gods.
Yeah.
And yeah, hard to. You know, ever since then, I've had a bit of a soft spot for Solana for sure.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, they seem. Sorry, you go.
No, I was gonna say I feel like that's where a lot of people start. I mean, the gas is cheap to do transactions. I mean, the NFT space is pretty active. You know, they had the little stint there with the FTX debacle or whatever, and Alameda and all that stuff. But like Solana is a live community, man. There's a lot of stuff, you know, and I'm. Full disclosure, you know, I have a little bag of Solana, but the community's lit. Dude.
Couple.
The community's lit. There's a lot of stuff going on in Solana, man. So that's pretty interesting to hear that, you know, you were kind of dabbling in Solana before you jumped into Arbitrum and all that stuff. So before we go, go ahead.
Oh no, I think I minted my smalls, but then yeah, like I totally faded ARB. Like I just had my smalls, they were just sitting there, and then one day I was then dabbling in all the Solana and stuff like that, and then one day I was like, oh, that monkey PFP that I sort of somehow minted, like don't even know how I remember I minted, like I don't even remember the process.
Right.
It was a miracle I minted it in the first place, and I was like, one day I was like, oh, it's worth like $600 now. That's what made me. That's what made me look at ARB, and then obviously, you know, back then I think it went up to whatever, you know, it was up like 10-15 grand at one point, but
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd.
Before we kind of move any further, man, I do want to kind of set the tone. Who you are, man, how you got started, like what you're known for, man. You have your name, you know, you're the Shred. So I do want to talk about kind of the backstory of that, man. I think it's your videos are fascinating, man. Like you sent these videos, and I'm trying to work on a collaboration for this episode. I was trying to put like a little promo video together with all your shreds. So I'm working on that. Yeah, I'll release it. But what is the backstory of that? Like, what gave you the idea of that? And what was the first project you actually did it for? Or was it a project that you did it for the first time?
Yeah. Well, it was a thing I had done before crypto. Basically, I basically just had this. I'm just trying to think like the exact reason it happened. I basically just had this. I had this collection of old T-shirts from my old job, and I just used to wear them all the time. But they were just real shit. And I briefly was like a semi-pro gamer for Rainbow Six Siege, which is,
dude.
you know, doesn't mean much. It means nothing. I literally just used to play like in the ESL comp. But that didn't last very long. But you know, if you've ever played Rainbow Six Siege, it's a shooter game. I still play it today. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's very frustrating. It's a very frustrating game.
Yeah.
And because you can just die to some bullshit. And I think one day I just got so mad I just ripped my shirt. I just you know, I'm not a small guy, so it doesn't take a lot for me to rip a shirt.
Right.
And so I thought, oh, that was a bit. Everyone had a good laugh out of it because I got so angry. And yeah, so then one day I just thought it would be funny to I've got the OG video somewhere. I've sent it every now and then, but like I put on like swimming goggles, and I just went shredded, Dad, and I just shredded my shirt and started screaming at the camera because I just thought, fuck, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And yeah, all my mates loved it, and then so it just became this. I don't know how it went from this to what it ended up becoming, which was every time a mate of mine had a birthday, we would all jump in Discord. I would go live and I would just do a shred. Just to say happy birthday, like, this is a fucking joke.
Full disclosure, man. Like, I try. What kind of shirts are you using, bro? Because I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like I was saying, I was putting this video together.
I know you tried at home.
I tried
Wes.
it, dude. I tried it. I tried it.
Yeah.
And, it didn't work out too well for me.
Yeah.
What kind of shirts are you
It's
using,
not easy, man.
Like, it's not, dude. It's way
you
harder
can't-
than what it looks, dude. You make it look so easy. Ripping
Nah,
my
I'm
shirt
definitely
off.
using cheaper shirts. Like, you know, one, I don't want to waste a good shirt, but two, like, yeah, there's a reason the shirts are good. Is they're you know, they're made sturdy. They're not made to be ripped by some dickhead who's bored, like you know, like me. So I'm just using old sort of cotton t-shirts.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I just go through. I don't know. They're definitely not good shirts. I think a lot of people give me credit for being really good at ripping it, but I mean,
You make it look easy, bro.
I think,
I'm not gonna lie, man. You do. I tried it like in the privacy of my own home, in front of the mirror, and I had the shred written across my chest. I was trying to do a promo video. I was trying to do it, and it just wasn't. It wasn't happening, man. It wasn't happening. It didn't work out. So,
Didn't quite turn out. Yeah.
Didn't work out, yeah. So, yeah, I was just curious about that, man. That's awesome, man. So, when did you kind of first get into, like, crypto, man? Like, what sparked your attention with crypto? Where did the NFTs and all this stuff come from?
yeah. Well, I was in it back. Like, I'm 20. Like, for context, I'm 24 now. Back. What 7 years ago, I could have been rich. I talk about this to my mates. I could have been rich. I back, you know, when I was like 16, 17, I just I hated school. I passed school, but I just basically said to my dad in grade 11, I was like, look, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm learning nothing. I don't want to. I think I was real good at science, and I was in math. Like, I was always good at school if I applied myself, but I was like, why would I apply myself? Because I don't want to learn. Literally, I was in math, and they were like, all right, you know, this term we're learning imaginary numbers. Right. And I said to my teacher, I said, like, imaginary numbers, what do you mean? And then, like, you know, they explained the concept, and fuck knows, I can't remember anymore because I couldn't be bothered.
Right.
But it's like the second I got to that point in school where I was like, I'm learning about imaginary numbers to figure out, you know, other numbers, and it's like, I just have no need. I don't want to be like an engineer or, you know, whatever they're going to use that math for. So yeah, I kind of just said to my dad, I don't want to do that. And from there, I just always had an interest in sort of investing, and crypto was just, crypto was so easy to get into. Well, not so easy, but, you know, it was easy for me.
Right.
And I bought a bunch of ETH. I had a bunch of Litecoin. I bought Neo, which was like going to be the Chinese Ethereum. And yeah, I had like a massive bag. I think I ran it up to like 30K, and I remember telling myself, like, all right, at 50 I'll sell. Obviously way too ambitious because I think it topped out at like 38, 40, which at 17 would have been amazing. You know, hindsight is that beautiful thing. I should have sold, but yeah, so I basically took a break because that's when, you know, crypto nuked, went into the bear, and as most normies do, they give up, and that's what I did. Let my crypto sit, and then, you know, skip ahead 3-4 years. Yeah, 3 years later, COVID hit, and the stock market here in Australia, I'm sure everywhere, but here in Australia, it really tanked hard. And I'd been looking at stocks, you know, because I was interested in investing, and I'd started working, so I had a bunch of money, and I logged into I quickly jumped on my old Mac, found all my crypto, which, you know, at the time I think it was worth like $5-6 grand, which is about what I put in, luckily, and I just put it all straight into stocks. And luckily during COVID, what happened was everyone got, you know, here in Australia, like, you know, don't need to talk about COVID too much, but here in Australia, we got locked down real bad, and which, you know, was cool with me, but all our stocks, it was pretty brutal. But all our stocks tanked real hard, and so I just threw all my money into the stocks that I was looking at these stocks, like, you know, like our biggest bank here, Combank, was $100 a stock, and I'm looking at it at $45 or $50, right? Like, I don't want to exaggerate. I think it was literally half price. And I remember thinking, like, it's a bank. Why does this matter? Like, we're locked down in our homes for 3 months. It's not going to matter. Like, it's not going to impact a bank's business. So I put all my money into there. I flipped a good amount of money, and then proceeded to lose almost all of it in crypto.
Nice.
But so basically after I got into stocks, I then, you know, crypto bull market was happening. NFTs were starting. Well, I think that was when Bored Ape. I think I jumped in just after Bored Apes minted. I don't know. I don't want to be wrong with that. Or maybe once they started getting traction, maybe that's when I jumped in. And I was sort of just caught the end of that NFT bull run in, I want to say, you know, October, November of 2021. And that was sort of how I ended up back in crypto. And, you know, from there I learned my lesson. I was like, well, if I had just stayed in 2017 and I'd just been buying stuff, you know, actively participating, on the social platforms, and just in the know, talking to people who are like, hey, this is happening. You know, I mean, obviously everyone can say that. But I was like, you know, I was sitting there like, I'd be a millionaire right now. And I'm sure that's the case for 99% of people. But so that's why I'm still here now, 2-3 years later, because I know, like, you just got to sort of, you just got to keep, you know, stick with it. You got to hold out.
I think that's the biggest lesson, you know, is patience. And I hear, you know, Sierra, when I first got in, you know, he was way more experienced in the investment realm, you know, with stocks and the crypto. You know, I came in after him. But one of the biggest things I took away from getting in at 2020 was, like, patience, man. You gotta have patience, dude, and discipline, dude. If you're too impatient, man, and you expect something that may or may not happen, I mean, you're just gonna drive yourself nuts, man, and you're probably gonna make bad decisions and do the opposite thing of what you really should do. Siri, it's funny because we all have, like, similar stories, you know, coming in. You're doing it because, you know, maybe you really need the money, or maybe you've tried other things and you can't figure it out. Like, you're just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, how do these guys make money? Like, what is the secret sauce? And it's incredible, man. The people you meet, like, in this space that are so similar, man, but so different. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. Siri, what's your take on that, man?
So it's like you said, Wes. It's so funny because everybody is so different. He's across the world, but yet his story is very similar to ours, like in that aspect. But here's the thing that's, you know, a lot of crypto channels don't really touch on, and I don't want to go too crazy deep, and I don't want to turn this into some radical political debate or any kind of craziness. But dude, I gotta talk about it with my boy. I mean, we got my boy on here. I gotta talk to him.
Having fun, bro.
Like,
Let
okay,
it loose,
so you know how Sierra Crypto feels about old Gensler, right? You know how I feel about Gensler.
Oh, God.
Okay, so you know, without losing my, you know, patience too much or saying too many keywords that might, you know, demonetize or whatever the heck. You know, here's my take, because look, I'm like furious about Gensler and the way they do stuff here. Like, when you guys, like, in Australia, because I was watching when we were on lockdown, right? I was like you. At first I thought, okay, this will be over in 3 weeks. I was like, bro, this is going to be over in 3 weeks. And so I was like, cool. Man, I'm going to invest. And 3 weeks later, the market will be back. 3 weeks turned into 3 years, right, for everybody. So I think everybody thought it was going to be 3 weeks, and then it turned into 3 years. But during those 3 weeks, turned into 3 months. Over that 3-month period, I got so bored sitting at the house. I had already studied a lot of crypto and in stocks and all that stuff, but I got so, maybe it wasn't bored, maybe it was just curious, but I sat there and watched Shred. I watched the U.S. Senate and Congress hearings every day. And I'm talking for like 6 hours, bro, to see every single politician and what they were saying and what side they were on, right? About lockdown or not lockdown, vaccine, no, whatever it was. And I was just like, oh my gosh, dude, you could just, like, you could see the divide in America. Like, you could just see, like, these people are 100% going this way. These people are 100% going this way. And I just remember saying to myself, like, this is really bad for the country. Like, this is horrible. But you guys in Australia, you guys were getting reamed. Like, I thought we had it bad. You guys were locked down. Like, you guys, like, Italy got it bad too. Like, I think Italy and Australia, it was like, I just heard so many horror stories of, like, losing your freedom and losing all this stuff. I'm like, was it really as bad as what I was hearing? Like, did you feel like your freedom and your, like, was getting ripped away from you, or what, man? Like, how'd you feel?
Well, for me personally, I was in what, like, the outback of Australia. That's what it's called, the Northern Territory, and we've got the largest sort of Indigenous Australian contingent. So we've got a lot of communities, and they're the most at risk sort of Australians. So our lockdown was really tight, but at the same time, we actually had it really good. So yeah, I would definitely say, like, New South Wales and Victoria, they just had it awful. Like, they were locked down for 6 months. Then they would unlock, I guess, or whatever, with some level of restriction. So it's like, hey, like, you're stuck in your house for 3 months now. This is down in New South Wales and Victoria. Like, you'd be locked down for 6 months, can't leave your house at all. Then, hey, we're going to ease restrictions. You can go outside for, for an hour a day, but you have to wear a mask. You can't go near people. You can't go out. Can't go out to eat. Businesses have to stay shut. Gyms aren't allowed to be open. And it's just fucked. It was just bullshit, man. Just my situation was basically we did a lockdown for like 2 months, but then we had really strict border control. So nobody, like, if you were traveling to the Northern Territory, we only have, like, the one main airport. You would fly in, you'd have to do 2 weeks of isolation at a camp. They have, like, these mining camps.
My gosh, dude. That's what I remember was scary for me hearing.
It sounded fucked. I liked it only at the time. I hated it. Like, I don't want to get ranting because I really felt so strongly about it. I said at the time, like, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, this is bullshit. Yeah. You guys are fucking idiots. Like, and I still say that if, anyone watching this, if you're Australian and you stand by what the government did during COVID, you're a fucking idiot. Do not talk to me.
We stand with Shred too.
Even with all the newest updates. Sorry. Like, I get it at the time. It was easy to be brainwashed by the media. That's fine. But now it's coming out, it's just come out now. Like, and even we're still getting 4,000, South Australia, one of our states, still gets like 4,000 COVID cases a week. Wow, dude. And during COVID at its height, like, that was like crisis. Like, that was end of the world type shit. And it's like, anyway, so I felt very strongly at the time, but regardless, luckily for me, because we were in the NT, we did that 2 months of lockdown. And because we had that really strict border control, nobody was getting COVID. So we were just free. For 2 or 3 years, while other states were in and out of lockdowns for pretty much the whole time, we had a lockdown maybe once every 8 months. Like,
Jesus.
And that lockdown would be for a weekend because one guy slipped through the cracks. Like, it was just nothing. So we were, me personally, in my small, we're a territory and we're not even a fucking state in Australia. We got it really lucky, but yeah, the way Australia did it down south was terrible. We're still paying the price now. Like, these stupid cunts. These guys try to tell us that inflation's so it's my Australian lingo. my Australian swear lingo. But they try to tell us, you know, inflation's at 8%, but I'm sitting here like, you know, like I've got a home. I bought a house with some of my crypto. Like my home loan's almost tripled in repayments.
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to buy stuff like bread. You know, it's gone from $2 to $5.
Yeah.
You know, meats triple. Like, you know, they're trying to tell me that, oh, it's only 10%. Like, how does that make any sense when my food is over 100% more right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a direct result of all the bad spending that, you know, the Australian government did during COVID. We gave out hundreds of billions of dollars. Like,
yep. And we did too. And I think that's a testament to like what's happening now. You know what I mean? Like we're suffering from all the decisions that were made then.
For it.
Yeah, we're suffering for that now. And
that
yeah. Go ahead.
I say this. My final thought on it, I guess, would just be: there's a certain rock-based company, asset management company in the world that pre-COVID was managing $5 trillion, and post-COVID is now managing over $11 trillion. So you know they. So how does a company spend its whole lifetime only coming up with $5 trillion, and then within the space of 2 years it doubles
100%,
its assets value? Like that's, you know. And you can, you know, how does a company make $5 trillion effectively, and then you sit here and say, "I wasn't about the money." Like,
so what is the landscape like in Australia, like as far as ETFs and crypto, and like what's the vibe over there? Are there a lot of people? Do you meet a lot of people that are into crypto, or? Yeah,
I reckon there's I think Australia would be like the second or third most active country. I reckon. Yeah. There's a growing amount of meetups down south. I haven't gone to any of the events, but I know there's been a lot of, you know, sort of crypto events. And yeah, I definitely, well, the few people I have met, I've met Tales of Illyria. That's a magic, you know, project on a beach room. They came over from Singapore, and a few of the treasure team are Australian. You know, or Garp. I don't know if he's still team, but Garp was. He's Australian. X, who's the community manager, or his role might be something different now, but he's Australian. He's a really, you know, X is a great guy. Yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and JPEG Ape. He's the partnerships manager or something like that. He basically just helps onboard new projects and, you know, work with the current projects. He's great. He's a great guy too. He's Australian. You know, and it was cool to meet guys like that because, you know, they're actually full-time, you know, got good jobs like in crypto. And up until then, I hadn't met anyone like that. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think, like, I definitely feel like, you know, there's a high level of interest in Australia. You know, I think America, then you got, you know, Asia, and then Australia. I think, you know, all three are pretty similar.
Yeah, there was a.
Let me ask you this, Shred, because you I will say something else that stood out to me. You know, aside from the accent, I love the accent. I'm just like, man, the Australian accent is so cool. It's, you know, but your sense of humor was the next thing. I was like, all right, this guy is sharp. And then you're saying you're 24 years old. To me, I'm like, I'm impressed. It gives me hope because it shows me that the youth, where a lot of people may think, oh, the younger crowd, you know, they're just lazy, they're not sharp, they're not thinking about how the government may or may not be making great decisions for them in the future. So for me, when I saw you saying things and using your brain and like thinking for yourself and like just, you know, calling BS when you see BS, like, it gave me hope. I'm like, all right, here's a young guy who's got his act together, who's not just going to get run over. He's not going to let people steamroll him. He's going to stand up for what he believes in. So to me, that was awesome just to see it, and it gives us old guys hope. Like, okay, maybe there is a future for this world. Because I'm telling you, bro, for a while I was giving up, man. I was like, I don't know, but
yeah, when you say us old guys, who are you talking about? Hold on.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about my group. Yeah. I know you, young buck.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Shred. Let's shift gears here for a minute, because I want to get in. I want to ask you about your triathlon thing because I know you're still training. You're working hard, man. You're in the gym. You're posting gym stuff, swimming, all that stuff. But before we get into that, I just have to say we all know Lost Donkeys are killing it in the Hashverse. So we're not going to dwell on that. We're just going to say hee haw because we know we're going to. We're going for that number one spot. We're going for that number one spot in Hashverse. Gas prices are not right.
You already know, dude. Maybe you already know.
I've never actually
we got to work on it. I got to work on mine.
Like, you know, like there's the deep one, then there's like the high pitched one. Like, you know, I feel like the hee-haw, like, I feel like.
That's it, man. That's it, bro.
I feel like we need to speak with Lambo and Noodle and maybe just get like a hee-haw workshop going on or something.
There's got to be. Yeah,
we need to work on it.
We need something set in stone here. Yeah, we need something set in stone.
We do need to work on that. Me and Wes been trying. It's difficult because they make such a cool noise. They do, man. What are we doing with SmolAge? Have you jumped on the new SmolAge game, the voxel thing? Have you played with that yet? I have not yet. So I'm just asking honestly. Have you played? Have you got a chance to do that?
Well, I've been in the voxel. Dollar's been in sort of doing that voxel for a while now. I haven't seen the new stuff for the Hashverse. I love SmolAge. I love Dollar. Dollar V. He's obviously the current. He's project founder. But yeah, I mean, I can't switch up from the donks when it comes to the Hashverse.
No, well, I'm not switching. SmolAge, I showed him love earlier. I said, yeah, Donkey's number one, SmolAge number two. I'm cool with SmolAge Uga. I love the project. I'm just saying, like, no, I'm not. Like, there is no switching from donk. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Donk is life, man. It's donk.
That's it, man.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fucking donk, bro.
We need to let people know we're taking that number one because we had it earlier and then Hashverse just kind of snuck in into.
I tried to touch base with Realm, Dan with Blockmates. I tried to talk to him in the Hashverse Discord, but I tried to tell them it wasn't even like we're not even trying to we're just trying to be realistic here. We're gonna win. It's just a fact. I'm not even, and For some of the people that know me, I used to play semi-pro basketball, and I used to say, back in Darwin we were playing state league, and there'd be games where we're down 15, 20 points, and I would just say to my boys, I'd say to all the young guys, I'd just say, and this isn't even me talking shit, I'd just say we don't lose, we don't lose to these guys, and that's not me saying we're better. It's just a fact, we're just gonna win because I've never lost to them. 25-0, and I tried to tell Max, I was like, I tried to be polite to Rome. I was like, it's not even a slight at you guys. It's just the donks aren't gonna lose. It's just
not gonna happen, dude. It's not gonna happen, dude. We're
not on this watch.
That community.
I mean it. I say it with all love. I say it with all love.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, definitely. I've loved the way the donks have shown up in the Hashverse. It's been epic.
Yeah, it
for
has.
real.
It's been a lot of fun, dude. So something else I was gonna ask about now that we're kind of moving on to that. Geez, my phone keeps falling. Is you have a pretty well respected voice when it comes to Treasure DAO and all that stuff. What is obviously I would like to talk about some of the games within that, what are the more we know the more popular ones, which ones are active and which ones are being played and actually worked on. What is I know Treasure DAO, I mean, they just blew up. They blew up, right? So there was the Arbitrum airdrop. Everybody was jumping in to kind of get the airdrop, and then Treasure DAO just kind of went from 0 to 100 real quick. And what's kind of the controversy right now? I've heard whispers of certain things, and
I can jump in.
Yeah, feel free to only share what you're comfortable with. I know you like I said, you're respected in that realm, and whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I think keeping it polite. I think all that's happened is, we've seen over the last, when I first jumped into I'll add the context. Like, you know, when we first jumped into Treasure, you know, they bridged. So basically, Treasure bridged to Arbitrum, and then, you know, John, and it was a great move, really smart. You know, John, he was already sort of getting a bit well known because he'd done the you know, you know, Treasure project, like he'd done with the treasures, you know, the NFTs.
Yeah.
He basically said, look, I'm going to make a free mint project, join the Discord, draw a monkey, and you get the free mint. And he did that. Wow. And, you know, at the time it was peak bull run. People saw, oh, free mint, like, why not? And, you know, Smalls took off. I think they were like 3-4 ETH at one point, and even 5 ETH. Like, they were, and that was, you know, that was just classic bull run things. Like, you know, they were pumping, and it brought a lot of eyes onto Treasure at the time. Onto, you know, this small, you know, we were on a beach in this small unknown L2, you know, in this smaller niche gaming ecosystem that was Magic, that literally just had Smalls and Bridgeworld and, you know, well, Legions, but they were Bridgeworld. And yeah, a lot of people wanted to jump in on that hype and, you know, build their own project. And, you know, what happened was a lot of projects minted, and it's hard because the space changes a lot. And back then, you know, they really loved that free mint meta because Smalls were killing it. Smalls were doing great. Free mint meta, like, it was working. It didn't obviously work for the rest because, you know, there's just not enough liquidity. There wasn't enough action, not enough volume. But yeah, so a lot of projects jumped in because they were really excited. They were like, oh, this sounds awesome. Like, you know, an ecosystem where all the projects sort of, you know, work together to tie in with each other and, you know, have that interoperability, as well as also just that sense of community. And over the years, it's definitely changed. And, you know, I think I've been pretty vocal as of late about the way that Treasure's treated the OG projects. And it's hard because, you know, I had a moment 6 months ago where I was like, this is fucked. Like, you guys are, you know, because what happened was that ARB airdrop happened, and unfortunately, because a lot of projects didn't have DAOs, which is not Treasure's fault, but ARB's criteria was you had to have a DAO to get, you know, like, you know, damned Pirate Society. I don't want to talk shit about them, but I haven't seen anything from them. They might still be doing stuff. I don't know. I know they got 75,000 ARB, and they had done nowhere near as much as some of the projects on Magic had done. And I remember being pretty vocal at the time. I was like, yeah, you know, hey, Treasure, you know, Magic, you guys got given 8 million ARB because your marketplace generated so much revenue.
Right.
And I was looking at all these projects where, you know, around the same time that happened, I think Toadstools announced that because, you know, lack of funds, they're going to cease development on their project. And Smithy, the original Smithy DAO team, went bankrupt as well. I guess if that's how you want to put it.
Yeah.
And I was real vocal. I was like, this is bullshit. Like, you guys just got given 8 million ARB. Can't you help? And I spoke a lot with, you know, like, you know, X from the you know, community manager. He was really good. He's, you know, a mate of mine. He basically, you know, he allowed me to vent to him, and he made some good points. But, you know, at the end of the day, it wasn't on Treasure to give those projects some of their ARB. I think it was more, I definitely put blame on probably ARB. Like, it was just rough how the whole airdrop worked out. And I kind of moved on from that because I was like, well, you know, that's all right. Like, you know, it's unrealistic to expect Treasure to fund projects that are just not, you know, unfortunately not you know, not succeeding or not doing well.
Right.
But, you know, I was okay with that because I was like, well, they're still going to be here supporting the OG projects. You know what I mean? Supporting is in the sense of like letting them build and trying to help them where they can. The recent drama has now been that, because to me that was the bare minimum. Like, let the project stay on Trove, let them, you know, be a part of the Magic ecosystem. Like, give them a fair shot because they were there when no one else was.
Right.
You know, you had Bridgeworld and you had Smalls. People would not have stuck around if there were like 5 or 10 projects that were all coming to Magic. I mean, I remember Tales of Illyria. I was in the Tales of Illyria Discord before it was in Magic. And I remember saying to Smash, who was a Small himself, I said, oh, it'd be dope if you guys joined Magic. You know, Realm, Jonah saw what Magic was doing and made his project with the hopes of maybe joining Magic. And, you know, Realm now is a fucking titan, is, you know, a massive powerhouse of Magic.
Yeah.
But, you know, so they were there at the start, and their games have done well. But, you know, they're great teams. They've had the, you know, they got, you know, Tales of Illyria did the paid mint, Realm did the paid mint, so they had funds. They were able to push through. But these OG projects that sort of got burnt by the free mint meta and also, maybe they've had, lack of traction, or they haven't had the biggest team or whatever. They've sort of struggled. And, they're not going to, every project, projects are going to fail. That happens. It's crypto, That's why I look at NFTs as like just an investment, an early seed round sort of investment.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, just to, wrap it up, like the recent drama has been that, that Treasure basically just went and to a few of the OG projects, which, they haven't specifically delivered enough, I guess, is what I interpreted as. They haven't delivered a good enough game right now. They just removed them from the marketplace just said, basically just, in my opinion, I'm not trying to be anyone watches someone trying to upset you, but it just was like a big middle finger to the people that were there for you at the start.
Yeah.
And it's so out of touch, I couldn't believe it. And if I didn't have such strong conviction in Knights of Ether, Realm, and Tales, obviously Donks, but if I didn't have such strong conviction in those projects, I would have sold everything. I would have been out, because it's just, I just found it so wrong. I was like, I'm an early investor. Yeah. I invested in those projects because I wanted, I don't mind the project dying. I don't mind, when Smithy first sold, I was upset, but it was okay, because it's look, they gave it a crack, they didn't succeed, whatever. But then for Smithy to be taken over by Animus Labs, who are a legit fucking team, they've built a game and they've done it way cheaper. Yeah. I've seen the recent, financial reports from Treasure. Animus are running on nothing, basically zero compared to that, and they are building a game. For them, for Treasure to come and say, hey, you're not even good enough to be listed on the marketplace. I didn't even realize that the marketplace was an exclusive. I didn't realize it was that exclusive.
Right.
Especially during a bear. I mean, we're in this weird sort of bull phase now as the last couple of days. But in a period where there's just been so little activity, I couldn't believe it. And I'm not. I would say that to anyone. It's not. It's just a switch up. I know it's a business. I understand it's a business. A lot of people tell me hey, it's it is a business. We can't save everyone. That's fine. But to not even be able to list a project on a marketplace, a project that was there at the beginning, effectively, that's absurd. And you can never justify that to me. I get the projects that are dead. Fucking, I don't want to rant here, but I minted, I minted Ruffian Reborn last year. I minted 10 of the dogs because I liked Chain Gamer. He seemed like he was going to build a good project. They were allowed on the Trove marketplace still.
Though. Yeah.
They stayed.
With zero volume.
There's no game. He didn't even mint out. And that's not. I'm not trying to hate on Chain Gamer, but obviously there's something different.
Yeah.
Something is not the same as the others, because Smithy, who are building a game, have the NFTs, are still active, still communicating. They were removed. SmolAge, it's just Dollar. It's just Dollar and his team, these mods.
Yeah.
He's trying to build a game. He's still here. He's still communicating. The Discord still has activity. He's not allowed on the, not allowed to list on the marketplace anymore. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And I think I said in the Discord, if it's such a problem to have these games listed as games next to, it's obviously no secret that Zverse, Beacon, Kuroro, they're elite. They're legitimate games, and they're not the same compared to these other games right now, and that's fine.
Right.
But it does not justify removing it off the marketplace. You need to, and that's why I said maybe have an indie or a, OG, even have an OG tab. Just have an OG or small teams, something.
That's a good idea. I like that.
If you need to split them up, that's fine. But to not even have them on the marketplace is fucking absurd.
Yeah, I agree. Man.
And I said that. I jumped in the Discord straight away. We were on it, and they undid it. But it's I don't know. I just thought the fact that they were even willing to do it in the first place, I was disappointed by, because I understand if the team hasn't spoken in 3 months on Discord, or they haven't delivered anything, they haven't shown anything. I understand that, but that wasn't the case. And even SmolAge, I love, Eddie took over because or Eddie and a few other guys took over. Same thing. These guys already are working IRL. This is a side project. They're working on it though. They're still trying to deliver. It's just I just think it just shows the level of loyalty or lack of. And so I probably ranted a bit there. But I don't know. That's
good,
sort of my take on it.
That was beautiful, man. I appreciate you sharing, dude. Absolutely.
Hey, we're Wes. We're at 43 minutes. I just want to get him just real quick to talk about the training thing, because I know. I mean, how's it going, bro? You look like you're swollen up a little bit there. How's it going? You're doing this thing. I mean, you're doing the triathlon thing. How's that going?
Yeah, it's good. I basically I was set to do one, got appendicitis 2 weeks before, and I could have pushed to do it, but I honestly probably wasn't. It was already going to be like one of those, like, damn, I'm just going to I'm going to fucking David Goggins it. I'm just going to push through. But I couldn't have, like, pushing through would have been if I was fit enough
that
and
could
had
have, that could have hurt you, bro. I had the appendix 2 weeks after you
got it
did.
the same week.
Yeah. I got it right
like a week
2
after
weeks
me.
after you. And I remember asking you, I was like, bro, does this hurt? Like what am I expecting? Because I'm scared to death of hospitals, bro. That hurt, man. I'm not gonna lie. That
was a
surgery
motherfucker.
hurt afterwards.
Yeah, that was
hurt.
rough. But yeah. So I basically just put it on because I missed the triathlon I was gonna do, which was here, like where I'm staying. There was a local one. And yeah, so basically just since then I've just sort of been started playing basketball here, and still training. I think I kind of just do it. You know, I'm not in the type of shape I want to be in, so I kind of thought, like, I love swimming, I love bike riding, I want to be good at running, but I'm awful at it.
It's miserable,
and yeah, so I've just been I've been running like a madman. I think I'm up to like my longest run the other day was 15 Ks. So like I'm feeling good. Yeah, feeling real good. Hopefully I'll be able to, you know, find a triathlon in the next couple months, and you guys will see that post on Twitter. I wanted to try and find some sort of like shirt or swim, like maybe if I could get like something's printed on, maybe if I got to try it, like if I got a wetsuit, I could get like some sort of donk or something printed on there.
Well, we got to get you a Crypto Remora shirt. That's what we need. We need to get you the Crypto Remora logo.
Team Remora. Yeah, I'll be swimming for Team Remora.
That's it. That's it.
Keep pushing, brother. You're doing good, man. I appreciate you sharing, you know, everything with Treasured Owl, man. Everything kind of happened fast, man.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
I feel like it kind of happened fast, man. And you know, when something like that kind of happens fast, and you have this vision, you know, the people that founded it had this vision, and then you have to start bringing all these other people in to help you out. Things kind of get mixed up, and
shit changes. Business evolves.
Yeah. And we appreciate you sharing, man, because it's been something that we've been trying to figure out, like what is the controversy here. So we appreciate you sharing, man. Dude, we appreciate you coming on. Shred, you are awesome, man. Thank you so much for taking the time on to come on the Crypto Remora, man. We love you, dude, and yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Thank you. It's crazy. Time's it's going by quick.
Yeah. Is there any...
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it again, dude, because it's like I feel the same way. I feel like we're gonna have to bring him on again because there's so much.
We should
more
try to get a
NFT
live or
stuff
something.
we didn't get to.
Yeah, man. We definitely should.
I was talking to Wes about, like, you know, we got. I think you can go live on X now, or you know, obviously you got YouTube or
you got a button, dude.
Rumble,
go live on X. We got to start getting into that. We're going to do that. We're going to look into that. It's just, like you said, everyone's schedule is so crazy with everything right now. But
yeah, it is.
I'm telling you what, this bull run hits, dude.
Yeah.
I finally won a trade today. I won my leverage trade, y'all. I won
one.
I lost 7.
Donk Island.
I lost
Donk
7,
Island,
but
baby.
I won 1. Donk Island.
Yeehaw, baby.
He's on the way.
It's on the way. It's in the works.
I see you've been trading heaps too. See, you're trying to. Is that what you're saying? You're trying to get your longs and stuff going.
I did a 67x leverage today and actually won. So it was weird to feel a winning trade for once. Yeah, it was like
Let's
it
fucking
was almost
go.
like that feeling.
Let's go, dude.
It's like it's like this feeling like when you buy an NFT and it actually goes up in value. It's like that good feeling, like, oh my god, like you hit the lottery or something. So yeah, it felt good, man. It felt really good, but we're not done, dude.
Yeah,
we're just
man.
getting started.
No, we're
baby.
just getting started.
That's got me hot.
We're all just getting started, man.
Fuck yeah.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's show, guys. Man, Shred. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show,
thanks
man.
for having
It was
me.
a great time
thank you,
talking
brother.
with you, man. Getting your insight on all this stuff, man. So, can't wait to have you
Yeah,
back on.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm definitely keen to jump back on. I feel like I barely even got to speak to you guys. I feel like I talked the whole time.
No, you're good, dude.
Chat with you guys.
That's what we wanted, man.
That was good.
We wanted it, man. So, guys, thank you so much for coming, watching, coming on. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're following us at the Crypto Remora, Sierra at Sierra Crypto, myself at Crypto MacGyver. Make sure you're following Shred at the Shred _. And I I think that's gonna do it, man. Much love to the donkeys, much love to the Arbonauts, much love to you guys, and until next time, peace out.